let's do this, and then as you do your thing, I'll put some information on. All right. Ooh. What do we do?
Welcome to Books We Never
Welcome
Read.
to Books We Never Read.
Except for those we have.
I'm Jason.
I'm Nicole.
And today is going to be our first discussion of The Strength of the Few by James Islington.
Book number 2 in the Hierarchy series.
That's correct. And today we are discussing chapters 1 through 39.
So if you haven't read up to that point, you're going to hear some spoilers. So you use that information for what you will. Get out of here. Just kidding. I also haven't read up to 39, so woo, it'll be fun. Anyway, we have lots and lots of books playlisted for you in the playlist section of our channel. We have also already read and discussed book 1 of the Hierarchy series, and so that's available for you as well if you have not even started the series yet. Obviously, we really liked it, and so we started on book 2. We are available on YouTube Music as a podcast, and we're on Fable, and you can keep up with notes and conversations and thoughts and feelings about the book in between our live book club meetings. And we're on Instagram so that Shelby can send me memes. So good morning. Hi, Shelby. Hi, Peggy. And hello, everybody. I'm going to need y'all to tell me what happened. I'm really glad that we went ahead and broke the book up this way, because there was so much to figure out, where are we and what's going on, that I feel like if we just divided it into equal fourths and met after the first fourth of the book, I don't know, we wouldn't even know anything yet. And this whole time, so okay, I have not made it through 39 yet. I'm on chapter 34. And we're just now getting to the point of this and Ress talking to Viridius. And we need him to talk to Viridius to even know what's going on, for him to be even caught up to the version of him in Obitium or the other place, whatever that is. He's way behind our guy here in Ress. Way behind.
Yeah.
On the knowing things and the doing things. Especially compared to Obitium.
I keep thinking that's funny because, the other, especially Obitium guy, right?
I mean, he's in it.
He's making moves, yeah. And Visrez is just going to school and having chariot races and stuff, which was cool. I'm on board.
I just imagined that in the style of Mario Kart. And I was like, okay, who's getting the blue shell? Oh, there goes Ios or whatever his name is. Doonvis, very funny.
Yes, it is very Doony.
Yeah. So Jason's trying to put a banner up on the chat so that anyone who hops in knows that we're talking about 1 through 39. And
Peggy, you may be able to pin the comment that I just posted about the chapters. I'm trying to do it now, but if you can, that'd be helpful. Let's see. I got it.
Renfairvis.
Yeah. So let me. Sorry. Okay, I'm in the.
This is a
now.
really good way to remember, because I can't remember the name of the other place.
I don't. So it's called Lucium. That's what we call it. Yeah, I don't know what they call it.
Yeah. And I feel like that version, Renfairvis, hasn't even realized yet that he's been split.
Mm-hmm.
He's just wow, how do you not know that there's a huge city 3 miles south of here? He has not realized yet that he's in a whole different world.
Yeah. He's just hanging on tight. And Renfairvis, right, the one in Lucium, he is in my mind the most tragic, because he got a good little life with his little family and everything.
Yeah.
And had to leave, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's sad. It's also crazy to me. So when Renfairvis first wakes up, his first thought is of lying on the beach with Amissa. Mm-hmm. How is his first thought not, because she didn't stab him? He doesn't know. Because so that's what I was kind of confused about.
True.
They split
before
at the.
Amissa stabs him.
That's because that's what I'm why are you daydreaming about Amissa? She stabbed you.
Look,
He doesn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to talk about here, I guess. But one of my like other beefs with the Vis that is remaining in Res is that he runs into like the scarred man and just like has a whole conversation with him. Like they're just talking and hanging out and making plans and like, what are you doing? Like that guy is clearly involved with Anguis. He's clearly involved with like
He
killing
knows
friends.
that, but he is involved with Anguis now. I mean,
I don't know. I like he's holding grudges against a lot of people, and he's just like willing to accept that guy's help. It's kind of wild.
Really, kid told him he had to. I don't know. He's so helpless. In Res.
Yeah.
He's just subject to whatever Lukia is telling him to do, and I don't know. Powerless, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know what we were supposed to get from the talk. This is in Res. I don't know what we were supposed to get from the talk with the prisoner. He had to fake that he didn't know all this information in front of Amissa.
So that wasn't in front of Amissa. That was in front of
Equal. Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Whoever it was. Wait, I thought it was Amissa.
No, well, I think it's Equal. You're probably right. It is Amissa. Maybe. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But so I don't even know where to start. Can we? I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Who is Ka?
Yeah. So who is Ka?
Who is Ka? And is Ka going to be the same as Big Bad in Renfair Land? And is that going to be the same as Big Bad in Res?
It's got to be.
Like, are we going to see this guy is also tripled, right?
Yeah.
And he wants to make sure no one else can synchronize.
Yeah. So this is something we've been talking about a little bit on the Fable. And if we have a bunch of folks in here right now, and if you are not on our Fable, the Fable is called Books We Never Read, and you can join us there.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
I don't remember if you did or not. But so this is something that Shelby and I have been talking about, and Peggy was probably in there too. But about like just so one of my things is like, okay, so we believe from the last book that we like Vis's team, right? Humans on Res, we split the world so that like in this fight against Ka somehow, and so we find out in this book that somehow doing that has like split up like the types of will. It's like I just don't understand. We don't really understand yet like why we would split the world and what's going on there. Like how does that help us? And if we do split the world, how are there not copies of like literally everyone? Even I guess if it was like thousands of years ago, then like okay, maybe everybody was split.
They've all filtered out.
But if everybody was split, everybody is synchronous. And like just imagine the chaos there, right? Because one of the other things we've been talking about is like, okay, if Ka is synchronous and if that's bad, well, this is now too. So like this is basically a nuclear weapon and he's a threat to humanity. So like how did Ka become synchronous? And like was he just like super powerful before? And like why wasn't everybody powerful before? I'm very confused by that whole thing. I have absolutely no idea who Ka would be in.
What is Viridius?
It could be. We have.
What is Verlukia?
Could be. So I don't think it's Viridius because we have evidence of Viridius being like 7 years younger, right? Like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's not just like immortal; he was younger in recent times.
Or he was pretending.
Yeah.
And it was like, because why does he know? Why does he know? Why does Searor know that the split would occur? Viridius was the one like leading this whole thing.
Yeah. So you didn't make it this far, but literally the sentence that we end on in the book is, so he goes and meets Viridius. Bad things happen, by the way. Vis like almost dies, and basically what happens to Lannistia at the Aurora Columni, which finally we got to see. Happens to him where he like his body gets taken over with this message, like the complete the journey sort of situation. But anyway, but they save him and he's back now in like the hospital with Praetor. And anyway, and Praetor's like, all right, fine, it's like time to tell you what's going on. So like literally we read the next chapter and we should be getting some answers from Viridius, which is gonna be nice. Anyway, but so who is Ka in Res? I have no idea. and it'll be a fun reveal because I have a feeling it's somebody we know already. I do not think it's the Scarred Man, even though he does appear. I'm not sure that he has like synchronous power, but he has like duat power, right? He has Obatian powers.
When Resvis gets like horribly injured, have we bounced to the other worlds yet to see what happens to him there? Because Searor has made it clear that like if he lost his arm in one place, he's lost his arm in all.
I'm not sure that we actually see we've been back yet.
Oh my god!
And I'm not sure that he was like injured per se, but like it wasn't good.
Yeah. Well, we saw him in Renfair World delivering a message.
For those of you who are in the group,
he delivered a message. Like a spirit took over him, and he said these words.
Yes.
To the guy who was fighting.
Yes.
And then did they kill the guy because then the spirit told him?
Yeah, they exiled him.
I was like, oh no.
So anyway, so like, what's up with Ka? My theory as of now is that Ka is not a human being. I don't buy it, and like nobody has seen Ka in 1,000 years, and like what if it is something else? Like I still want to do like this AI thing, right? But like what if it's like a golem or something that has like his mind state, like if we can put the spirit of a warrior more or less, whatever tricksiness that is, into a spear, why couldn't we take Ka and put him into something else and have him rule that way? Like, what if there is no Ka as a man? What if it's something else?
Interesting. Okay, so they clarified for us. Doonvis, the Vis that's with Searor, has both of his arms. Searor was able to intervene.
Yes.
And put that scarab thingy on it.
Yes.
Okay, so if you lived in the Dune world, Obatian, which population of people would you rather be? Do you want to be a dead thing? Do you want to be an overseer? Or do you want to be a Ka Shabit or whatever it's called, where you like live in luxury but you have to get sacrificed?
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to live in luxury and know that I'll be sacrificed.
I'd probably be a Fremen, right? Out in the woods or whatever.
At the end, die or whatever.
Well, the people that he originally met.
They all got killed out.
Yeah.
That was really sad. And then, okay, did we see or did I miss something? Like a chapter started in the Dune world, Obatian, and he was just hanging out with Amos. Did we see him rescue Amos?
Who's Amos? Oh, yes. No, okay, so you're right. So he meets Amos and like goes through the thrum door or whatever, right? And then basically you skip a couple months.
But I'm like, where did this guy come from?
Well, he was about to become an overseer, or worse than an overseer.
That's what he says, but I don't remember seeing that. I guess
I mean, so there's a scene where he takes the overseer that he controls. Mm-hmm. They're like running down a hallway. The overseer has to come up with a distraction. The distraction apparently is to do something terrible to Amos, and then he's like, "Nah, we're not doing that." Yeah, the Gleaner. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, that was him.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're going to turn him into worse than a Gleaner. Yes.
Worse than an overseer.
I don't remember. Worse than one of them, but a Gleaner was involved in that scene.
The Gleaners are scary.
Yeah, they are pretty scary.
Little Dementors with like blades.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. Oh, the Dune world, Obatian, is based on ancient Egyptian mythology. East-west side of the river, symbolizing life and death. Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, and so Duat is the Egyptian like underworld, basically the city of the dead.
Oh well, that is definitely what I got from like this world. I was like, okay, if we're looking at like an epic, we're in the underworld now, and I guess that's the role that this world is playing.
Yeah. And it's got like that poison river and all that. I mean, like, it's terrible.
That?
Yeah. So I'll be honest, whenever we started this book, I was like, I think we made a mistake. Like, I was not that interested, especially like in Obatian. Like the early Obatian chapters, I was like, I just don't care. Just don't.
I was excited to see Seor.
Yeah, that was cool. I hope he's alive.
That's the only world that I've been interested in.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know.
It's the only one that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't really interested in any of them, and I'm not sure where it started to pick up pace for me, but I'm definitely like well invested now. I felt like the chariot scene was like a little too long, but I enjoyed the chariot scene. Like, it was cool.
was
and it
going on.
mattered because there was some there. It's about him like being able to use the adoption
Mm-hmm.
abilities.
Now this is pod racing. If you're listening to the audiobook, switching between worlds is very confusing. If you are reading the book, it's much easier because each world has a symbol at the beginning of it when that part starts. The Obitium is an Ankh, which is a throw to Egyptian mythology. Res is 3 columns.
Okay.
And Renfair World is something else. Maybe 3 swirlies.
Yeah,
or something
it's like the
that.
knot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're very druidy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I am kind of interested in that world, I guess.
I just don't know what's going on.
Well, so honestly, that's the world that has had like the least happen, which is kind of wild. Like Obitium, we have made a lot of progress, and in Res, like we're
getting there.
We're doing stuff. But in Lucium, he was like chilling as a farmer for a while, and then he got like captured.
He was a
and then,
prisoner.
Yeah.
Farmer.
Now he's back to school.
Prisoner. Oh yeah, he's like, oh, so school again? The woman's like, he's like, oh, is it school again?
Yeah.
That made me laugh.
But I guess I'm kind of interested in that world because I feel like it like still has like the most potential, I suppose. There's also in that world, when we were talking about Ka, there's like a legend of like an evil demon that lives there somewhere, and that's Ka.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know what that means yet.
Yeah, it's a fidget spinner. Haven't heard that in a long time.
I got an ad for it on Amazon. I don't know
why Lycium doesn't have a Siror.
True. The Siror in Lucium died.
Right. And that's why we're so much further ahead in the Dune land.
Right. It's also why Siror is not synchronous. Right. And so the guy with the scar that we keep running into with Anguis, he is also probably not synchronous.
But he sure does imply that he is.
Well,
in the first book, to me,
I think it's likely that he has like one copy, and one of his other copies has died, because otherwise, like he needs this because this is synchronous, right? He needs that.
Do you think Melor at least had one other copy?
Yes, he had to have an Obitium copy,
and that's why he saw the pyramid,
and that's why he could do the thrum.
Yeah. What if Melor is Ka?
But he's died now once, so now he wouldn't be like. So here's what's really wild is like you don't have to kill all the Kas. I guess you just kill one,
and all of them will die.
Well, no, then he's not synchronous because he doesn't have like one person in one of the worlds or whatever.
Gotcha.
So like figure out which, and like I get that Vis in Obitium can't communicate to his other Visses.
Well, supposedly they can if you just scrawl something on your arm.
Well, but that was like while they were in the in-between, right? Like while they were getting copied.
This author does not make the rules very clear. And on things that need explanation, he does not explain. And that keeps him from doubling back and messing up, but it keeps us confused and in the dark about how things work.
So, Shelby's asking, how did Siror know when he died in Res? Oh, so actually, that's what. So there could be a Siror in Lucium. There's just not a Siror in Res.
He said he felt it.
Yeah, he says he felt it.
So, and I had questions about that too. So he says that he felt it, and he wasn't sure if that's what it was. But when the feeling continued, he knew that that's what it was. Siror also made a comment about how he thought his current version of himself would be the version that stayed in Res. How do you?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Right. Well,
you are yourself in all 3 places.
Sure. But like.
So of course you're gonna feel the missing of the life that you had. No matter which version of you was where, that other version is gonna be like, oh, I miss my girlfriend.
What's that movie with Hugh Jackman where he does like all the magic tricks and stuff? What is that called? It's help me out, chat. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's Hugh Jackman versus Batman, right? But it's a different movie. And anyway, they're doing magic tricks, and one of the magic tricks is to copy himself. Hugh Jackman copies himself and drowns his copy every time. And he says the same thing. He says like, I always thought I'd be the one. I never knew if I would be the one to like walk out on the stage or if I'd be the one drowning. But the horror of it is that he is the one drowning and he is the one walking. Like he is both.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Greatest Showman. No, not Greatest Showman. That is not correct. That is not correct. No, this is like an older movie.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I watched Greatest Showman. I don't remember that, but I don't want to say
it's not The
anything
Illusionist because
I'm
that came out at the same
sure.
time. The Prestige. It's The Prestige star rating. Anyway,
Oh.
interesting.
One version of Vis felt his chest hurt when the other Vis got stabbed. I have been trying to like keep track of like this is what's happening at the same time, and are we getting the information that's happening at the same time at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I can't trust the author to really give us everything at the same time. I think he likes to keep us hanging.
Well, there are reasons to think. So we are more or less getting things at the same time, but definitely in Obitium, things are happening that we don't get to see because we know that this has like a plan, and we don't know what that plan is. And that's happened a couple other times as well.
It's weird. It's the part, you know, like of a movie, and then you don't know what's going on until the reveal. So some people in the chat are saying, and I said this too, I was having trouble at the beginning, and I think that we like right now we don't know where we're going. And I will say this, the first book was like that too. Yeah.
Where we didn't really understand what the mission was and what our direction was until about halfway through. And so I have a feeling that Viridius will sort of like help clear things up, and we'll start getting a clear goal on what we need to do for this second half. But I did start enjoying it like as things were going on. But like none of these guys besides Obitium Vis are really like doing anything. Obitium Vis is trying to kill Ka. That's the deal.
Again, he had Searoar to guide him and kind of accelerate his understanding. I do love in Restworld. I love that Iqua and Vis have such a good friendship. Yeah. I really like how that's going, and I love that Aiden is still there.
Yeah. So the chat's saying that Aiden, Vis, and Iqua are kind of like the Harry Potter group, and that Aiden is Ron without a family. Yeah. That's funny. You know, and there does seem to be connections now between like Aiden's culture and the culture in Lucia, which is interesting. Like, it doesn't shock me.
Is Lucia in Fair World?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, okay, if like let's say you split the worlds and all people get copied, all right, that's fine. But then you would have all cultures, unless like somehow Aiden's culture is like the one that won out. And the idea that like we split them 1,000 years ago and now like the languages are related, that makes sense to me too. But why would you only have like that culture? You know, and like there might be other cultures like around. I guess.
At the end of the first book, sorry, this is unrelated, but a question that I have. At the end of the first book, when Vis is in the hospital recuperating, it implies that his dad is alive and has visited him.
He sees him as like a ghost.
But he has his little boat.
Yes. Which I think Viridius did, personally. But
how would he have gotten it?
I don't know. But it's like as a threat, right? Because he like I know who you are, sort of thing. Because it has a name written on the bottom. It says Diago. I don't know.
What if his dad is in multiple worlds?
That's certainly possible. But like, would his dad have been synchronous? And if his dad was synchronous,
he's Ka.
That would be so hot. That would be so hot. Oof, man. All right.
And it might be the only reason that it worked for this to become synchronous. He has the same blood. He has the same, you know.
Well, but so we don't know that his dad died.
Well, he was hanged.
We believe we believe he died.
to do quotations.
Interesting. So, yeah, and it's possible that his dad was like potentially synchronous and has had one killed before, right? Because like I guess Ka recognizes that people who are synchronous are a threat to him. You know,
Right. That seems.
I don't know. So in this like new hospital scene that you have not made it to, this does sort of recall that when he was last here, he saw his father and that it felt real, right? So like we do get a throwback to that.
Hmm. Oh yeah. So someone in the chat asked if Dune Vis takes the amulets off his arm, will his arm fall off?
Maybe it's like infusing him with life and like the ability to breathe the poison air and like all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It won't heal it though. It's just
I think it's
maintaining
just
it.
maintaining.
Why wouldn't Viridius look for adults from Sustin to train for the labyrinth?
So that kind of goes back to y'all's previous point, is that now all adults from Seuss would have gone through the Aurora Clone.
Was it Amissa or Equa who he had chosen originally to run the labyrinth, and then she told him that she'd already been to the alumna column?
It was Equa.
Equa.
And that's how Belly gets chosen.
Yeah. And do we know how Belly ended up getting severed?
Well, so real quick, I know they didn't use will, but after they were conquered, then they had to. They put all the people through the Aurora Clone. That's like part of the colonization process. I'm sorry, what?
I don't know. I have too many questions.
But the whole like using kids to like run a maze, I am enjoying this book. I think this series has a lot of potential. There's a lot of fun ways we could go, but like there is like the magic school vibe, which like I'm frankly tired of. This was like interesting enough, I guess, but like I'm tired of it. It's also just the maze runner again, right? Like what if we like take kids and make them run mazes to like see how they do and find special powers? Like that's the maze runner. I think it was Shelby maybe who pointed out that something was very similar to what's the one with the D? Divergent, where like you don't quite fit in, and
I never read any of those.
I didn't either, but I watched the movies. And what about Aiden's community? They've all gone through the Aurora Columni as well now. And he has to like do all these things so that they don't get murdered. Yeah. So one interesting thing about this book so far is we get basically no Ulkey score, like just none of it.
Yeah, he gone. Yeah. Did he disown?
No, he didn't disown him. But
I thought Viss said that wasn't his dad anymore.
I don't know. Viss might be like mad, but big mad. But even at one point, Siror says, if I know my brother at all, he actually really likes you.
Yeah.
Even though you've done, well, I guess he doesn't know that he betrayed him and like became governance or anything.
Right. No, but Siror is really defensive of Ulkey score.
Yeah.
And sweet.
Yeah.
And of course he is. I mean, that's all he has to hold on to. He's in this world all by himself. Whatever he and Lannistia and Viridius were doing, it seems like Viridius is the only one who like knew the whole story and like the whole picture and how everything worked.
Yeah.
And Seor and Lannistia just faced the consequences of Viridius's knowledge.
Yeah. Well, so in this scene where Viss gets injured that you have not read yet, he touches this like column thing, and basically like another mind sort of like takes over him, and it's not quite being a Yunctus, which is a word that like Viridius knows. but it's like very similar to that. And like I guess if you didn't interrupt the process, you would become one. I think is what they say at one point. But so Lannistia did that in the past, and they stopped it, but not like as early as they stopped it for Vis. And so Vis still has like his eyes not blowed out, but Lannistia does.
So does Lannistia find out what happened to her? Like, does she get some closure on?
Well, so as of right now, she's still in prison, like waiting to be like
Mhm.
put on a sapper or whatever. Right.
What led her to almost kill this? Is it because she has gone through the process, so some of that's still in her?
So because she touched this column, she has this like, I mean, like she's basically a Yuntus, right? Like that's
Mhm.
basically what's going on. And she's just been like waiting, and then there was like this trigger.
Sleeper.
Yeah, she's a sleeper agent.
Wow.
But I do have some questions still about like the whole like Viridius, Lannistia, Siror, ruins times, and I suspect that we will get all that cleared up in the next chapter. But like, have we just been going to school on this island all this time, and then those three figured it out, or like were they sort of coached into it by somebody, and like what's going on there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is this a cycle of abuse, or are they the originators of it?
But like, nobody did the labyrinth until Viridius took over, right? He made that. It's like, okay, cool. Maybe they just never made it that far. But like, why were they poking around in the first place?
But how did he figure it? Yeah.
And I will say this: so like, one of my complaints was in the first book was there was payoff for the labyrinth because you had to like run the thing to get to the gate, which like still I feel like there are better ways to like protect your person copier, but like okay, cool. So there was a payoff for like why we had to spend all this time running the labyrinth. And in this book, there is a reference at one point where I can't remember who does it, but it's one of the Visses, and he says like, "Hey, it turns out actually the labyrinth was a good like training tool for using will." And I think it was while he was doing the trials where he was doing the rocks and all that. So like, I'm kind of glad that little nugget was put in there because like, at least somebody recognizes that there was like a real purpose to that was helpful to all these other students, and it wasn't just like we did what for how long?
Yeah.
Okay, so Shelby's saying that Siror had a mentor, and I thought he just had a mentor in Obatium, but that may not be correct. He may have had one in Res as well. We got lots of questions.
Yeah, I have more questions than anything, and I think I get frustrated when the storylines switch to the other world because I just want to get through one and know all the things in that world.
It is a lot. Like it's rather ambitious, right? For a book called The Strength of the Few, we sure do have a lot of misses, right? Like it is kind of exhausting.
And what's gonna come back around, or has this already been addressed? Calidus's whole thing about knowing that there's a discrepancy between how much will is going through and how much is being received by people. The whole thing that he was being blackmailed for.
Yes.
Have we? What has come of that?
Right.
Nothing. Okay. And now he's friends. Resvis is friends with Calidus's sister, Litvia or Livian or something.
Yes.
So that's cool. I guess it reminds me of Dragon series.
Yeah, it does. So Peggy's saying Ka gets all the extra will. That's interesting because we do still have there are still some questions floating around from the first.
So Rezka is just getting the excess will.
Could be.
Oh. Well, and so this has learned in this world that there is this like extra bit of will that he can wield, and that's like through taking other people's will when they have imbued an object.
Mhm.
So there is more will floating around than is accounted for.
Yeah, that is true. I think though that like you're supposed to somehow you're supposed to like maintain the will, like it's your will still, but it's like in something, and then you have to like take it back.
But if he takes it,
Yeah,
then that person can't take it back.
that's
He
true.
has
That
to
is true.
release it.
Right, that is true.
And then because he had that whole thought process of like he doesn't know how to release that separately from releasing the rest of the will that he's being granted. And he doesn't know how he does it, but he knows once he gets closer to, was it Ios or whatever? It's the one that hasn't recovered from his injuries, I think, from the chariot race. All he knew was that as he got closer to him, he wasn't holding on to that will anymore. But I don't think he knew how he released it.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna say this. I think that so just talking about the will and where's the will going. It's not that there's will missing. It's that there's not enough like quintuses or something, right? Like there's a jump between how many octavi there are and septimi to like sexty on all that, right? Like
and I can't follow.
There's some discrepancy in like the math of the pyramid.
Yeah, but I don't know what it means, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be getting from that. Like I can't follow what Calidus was talking about and why it matters.
But so I'm saying that because so Peggy is saying that like if the aurora columna is what people touch, then what if like Ka steals that will? So like what if people become octavi, but then they never join a pyramid because they're seeding straight to Ka, and like it is kind of more efficient, I guess, because you'll get like a half of a half of a half of a half, which is still like a lot whenever you add it up, but like you get a straight half.
Mm-hmm. More concentrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shelby, I agree. I like that twist that the boy who never wanted Will to begin with,
yes,
can steal Will.
Yes. Also, he's just like totally gotten over that part, right? There's all this
He
talk
feels
about
yucky.
like, yeah, but there's all this talk about like, hey, there's these lines you shouldn't cross, and like when you cross them, and he's just like, I'm gonna do this.
Crossing all the lines.
Crossing
too
all the
late.
lines. Yeah.
But I think that's like power should go to those who don't want it, that kind of thing, and that's what's happened here. He's a just receiver of the will.
Yeah.
I hated reading the part where he like received will from they're like,
yeah,
here's my will.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so yucky. I didn't like it. I'm like him. I think that's yuck.
It wasn't clear in that same scene. That's when we run into the scarred man again, and he says like, you need to figure out how to do the adoption ability or whatever. I don't think they made it like super clear, but I think it's obvious that he teleported himself into the building. And like that was
because he was in a closed room, and he just turned around and he was there. So that guy has a copy somewhere, right? Well, yeah, we already know that. Yeah, because he does that out in the Eutychium too.
Yes.
Teleports.
And we see him do it with Vis's mom, right? His adopted mom.
Yeah.
So then I also okay, so the thrum seems to be like maybe Nobitium power, right? We've seen it there on the gate. How that has to do with teleporting, I don't really understand, but it's like this, like if you're not synchronous, you can't thrum. You can't engage with the thrum. Somehow this engaged with the thrum before he was synchronous, right? I suspect that's because of this. Whenever at the
Nomakia.
Yeah.
Is it because he had the stylus?
I think it's because he had the stylus. So like, what does that mean, right? It could go to your theory that like, what if his dad is Ka, and then it like something, right? Like, what if it recognizes him as like that's an interesting idea.
It's just in his blood.
Yeah, but we have reason to think that it's something about blood, and it's something about like this disease that they can find in it or whatever when they check to get everybody's blood.
Do we really think that ceding some of his will to Iden tricked the blood test?
It seems to have worked.
Okay.
Yeah, it does seem to have worked. Which I think was a clever way to do it, right? And don't give it straight to Equa. Could like take her plane, do it with somebody else like that. That was a good idea. But okay, so I'm bringing up the thrum thing. We still don't really have a clear idea of like what will is used for in Lucian.
Mm-hmm. In Ren Fair World?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know, the warriors do use it when they're fighting.
When they're singing.
Yeah. Yeah, but like what does that do?
Yeah. Okay. So that's like a mystery for the remainder of the book is like what's the will there?
Yeah. And they don't like really have a word for it. It seems like they don't understand what will is, but like they're clearly doing it. So.
Yeah, and like the druid staff that he chose possessed, is that why he spoke a spirit through him? It was through because of the staff?
Yeah, but that seems to like that might not have anything to do with the spirit of the warrior, and that might have to do with like the druid. Like, what if the druid somehow imbued it with this message? And it's sort of like playing into the superstitions, you know.
Who's Tara?
She's one of the little warrior kids at the school.
Oh yeah, I'm not there yet. Sorry, I tried. Just missed it.
So yeah, a lot going on here. I feel like we've actually talked about a whole lot because
yeah.
I kind of felt sitting down this morning. I felt like it was overwhelming how much we needed.
Very much
to
so. But this kind of helped. Well, and I don't know how y'all feel about it, but it helped me kind of put the pieces together and make sure I understood what I was reading before we launch into the rest of this book. How do y'all think this is different from what was that other series we started that was like this? His girlfriend was like hanged in the beginning and Red Rising. Yeah. How do y'all think this is different from Red Rising?
I feel like Red Rising is just like a bunch of like I don't know. Red Rising is just about like destroying the status quo. It's sort of like a I don't know. I'm gonna call it like a democratic message, right? Sort of like power from below and power to the people, and it's all of like teenage angst about the system, and it's all like war, like you know what I mean? Like it's all war. And in this one, I think what's interesting is like while I agree that the hierarchy is not good, there's like this other threat now, and like at this point, at least some of the Visses are working towards like it's not really about the hierarchy right now. It's about Ka. And like, if you destroy Ka, I wonder if the hierarchy breaks as well, but like, we're not worried anymore about this like government that's abusing people. We're worried about this dude that is killing people.
This cataclysm that's about to occur.
Yeah. That's interesting, Shelby.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Res is governance. Obitium is military. Lycium is religion.
That's very, very astute observation.
And for anyone who's like new and joining us, we are happy to have you here. But we're a book club that actually talks about the book. So just so you know. You're wondering why your messages disappeared because they were irrelevant.
I ain't scared.
Just to clear up any confusion. This is why our book club is cool.
So look, I know we haven't put. We can start winding it down because we've been here about an hour. We have not put out a syllabus yet, so I do need to put out an official syllabus.
Okay.
But I went ahead this morning and figured out where we need to read to next. Cool. And that is going to be through chapter 61.
Okay.
So we are going to meet next Sunday. We need to read through 61. The next Sunday after that, the one where we're supposed to finish this book, is going to be complicated. And so we're going to have to figure that out.
Like, could we do a Saturday? Or no?
Not really.
Yeah.
And so, like, this is nighttime for some people. And honestly, if we did it our Sunday night, it'd be some people's Monday morning, which is kind of a pain.
Well, and they'd be at work.
Yeah. But we'll figure something out.
Okay. Yeah. So lots happening. But thanks for helping us sort it all out, and thanks for joining us. And for any newbies who have joined us, welcome to the book club. Don't be shy.
Stick around.
Chat it up.
Yep. Late enough, like our night works for y'all over here because it'd be earlier in the morning. We'll take a look at that. That's fine. We can discuss all this, and maybe we can move that conversation to Fable or something. And figure out what we're doing. But that whole weekend for me.
Or if we need to, just move it back. Give us 2 weeks to finish the book. Like that's fine too.
Well, so the week after that is Christmas.
Yeah, but it's not Christmas Day.
No,
it's just the Sunday after Christmas. Right?
We'll figure something out.
Yeah,
we'll figure something out. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We do think that for a little while, at least, this is the way that we are going to do our lives, where we're just going to go live without scheduling it. It seems to work slightly better for us.
Yeah, we will. Weird.
We will reevaluate that. All right. See you next time.